What foods should you avoid if you want to put out the most watts on the bike? So I've got my bike here. Now there's other videos that show what I eat, what I recommend to eat, but this is about foods that I'd recommend not to eat if you want to perform the best. And that's what we're after, isn't it, always? The best performance. Now say these are foods that I've learnt that don't work for me, and I say I don't think anything different to everyone else. I have the same physiology as everyone else. So I think you might find that if you've ever had thoughts of, well, something isn't working, this didn't work, or that, well, this might sound maybe similar to experiences you've had, and maybe this might put two and two together, but otherwise, listen to what I have to say. It might be surprising, might not. You might have had the same experience. So I suppose starting off, I've got props here, but firstly, I avoid anything from bacon, eggs, all the animal products. I just don't, because, well, I don't have those for ethical reasons, but if it wasn't that, I wouldn't have them anyway, because just you're looking for performance, and those foods are not what you want if you want to perform. So now that's out of the way. I don't recommend porridge oats for breakfast. There's different names for porridge. Is it grits as well as another word or whatever? But no, I don't recommend oats for breakfast, because my experience was that it did fuel me, but I would find that maybe an hour or so into the ride, my training ride, even if I wasn't doing maybe some sprint up some hill, I would feel my digestion would get blocked. And even if I left 2 or 3 hours after I'd eaten, I would essentially just, my digestion would get blocked, and it's so heavy. I find that oats are so heavy on the digestion that it feels. I actually got to the point where on one ride I had to SOS to be picked up, because I had this pain in my abdomen, essentially, where my digestive system, my digestive tract had just got blocked. It was just so slow to digest, and I had that a few times, and that was really unpleasant. And this was one of the main reasons is food that's just so heavy to digest like this. And another one along the same sort of lines really is bread in the morning. So I wouldn't have toast before my exercise. This is, if you want peak performance, you want to feel good in your body, then these are the foods to avoid, really. Might seem surprising. Well, that's the reason why I don't have toast, bread, oats in the morning. Another one I actually don't have is bananas. So I tried bananas for a while as my fuel for breakfast. I don't even really take them out with me either while I'm riding, doing my training either. For me, the reason behind this thought is, so I tried oats, had that problem, moved on to the bananas. So I'd make up a banana smoothie, and I was getting to the point where I was up to about 10 bananas a day, which now, I did that for a while, testing that, and now I don't want to eat another banana again. You know, that year, I think I did it for at least a year, trialing that, and so I'm on, hundreds, thousands of bananas. It's ridiculous, but I found that actually they don't provide you with enough sugar. So these are, fairly respectable sized bananas, but I would find that they just don't have enough sugar. And if you look up the nutrient, index for bananas, they don't really contain that much sugar. They just don't have enough. And I'd even make it up with, so in this banana smoothie, it would be, I'd even add table sugar, just for taste as well. And I found that after doing that for a while and training as well on top of that, I sort of dug myself into a hole, which took quite a few months to get out of. And yeah, I suppose you'd call that overtraining. I'll do other videos, and you can see on the channel about overtraining, because I don't believe there is really such a thing as overtraining. It's more all the other factors. So under eating, under sleeping, overstressing, all the other factors, too much job or family matters or friends or stress in the other parts of your life that cause the feeling of basically like you could be becoming ill from, and you can't ride, and you're having, a negative consequence from, I think, underfueling. And yeah, I think that was because they just don't have enough sugar. And you'd say, well, just have more bananas. Well, for me, I found that about 10 bananas was all really I could personally was stomach in one day, before it just became disgusting. And I've said before about the natural feedbacks that the body has, that when you've eaten enough of something, you just naturally get the vomit response, don't you? You just go, I don't want that. And that's what I had with bananas. After about 10, that's all I could get away with before I'd start to feel sick. And I think you'd have to have at least a dozen, if not 15 to 20 bananas really a day, to match the requirements for the enough sugar that you need. And just living, you obviously need a basic amount of sugar, carbohydrates, but training on top, day in, day out, so to speak, so back-to-back days, I don't think this is, just by itself, talking about staple foods that you'd have every day, I don't think it's a good idea. And there are other videos showing what I do recommend, essentially rice and fruit on top of the rice. So the rice is amazing. It digests so well, and it provides, I think, enough carbohydrate to meet the needs of just living and also training on top and performing, which is what we're all about, isn't it? Performance. Better every day, every year. So I hope you enjoyed and you maybe learned something from that. If you're going to try oats or bananas, as your staples to power you, be training, well, that's my experience. So I wouldn't recommend those foods. And I don't even think bananas, I don't know if it's this theory of soils are becoming poorer, so there's less sugar in foods. I don't know whether there's any evidence for that, but I find that I think you could on bananas and fruit, the most sugary fruit, but you'd have to get used to eating a lot of them, which I say for me, 10 bananas a day, was fairly big bananas. It's just the limit. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and maybe like and subscribe. And if you learned something new, let me know in the comments. But yeah, rice. Check out the rice, white rice. good, and sugar and yeah, gummy sweets while I'm out on the bike. Yeah. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.